They say art is a skill that takes a lifetime to master, that we all have to start somewhere. Wait, what's that? I am the ghost of your cringy past. Oh no, oh no. Cringe. Whew. And they were right. I've been drawing since I was 4 years old. Yeah, I know, I say that in every single video, but this time it's important because this video is all about progress. And I didn't have a lot of it up until the last few years. So I'm gonna be roasting my old art and redrawing them with the skill level I have now, while hopefully giving you some tips of what not to do in the process. This video is sponsored by UnVale. More on that later. I roasted these old drawings in a live stream. If you want to be part of the YouTube videos I make in the future, check out my Twitch. I stream every single Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Time. It's in the description in my socials link. Noggin, you won't be in the intro, so do you want to introduce yourself to the YouTube video?
All right, well, I'm Devilish Tizen. My nickname is Noggin. That's what my friends call me. I'm Athalie's husband, and I stream on Twitch whenever she's not streaming, so that these little guys below me got somebody to watch.
And Noggin, my husband is going to help me roast my old content, and so is chat. So if everyone would love to say hello to YouTube, go ahead and say hello now.
Small Girl Rifle says Athalie 7 wave hi YouTube.
Yes, hello. And I do want to emphasize, before I show any of these off, if you are currently at this skill level, this is nothing against you at all. I started somewhere and I grew, and so that's what we're roasting. We're roasting my art. If you are currently at the skill level, you will get better over time. I do not want you to internalize this at all. I want to make this extremely clear.
Yeah, no feel bads in the chat.
No feel bads in the chat. Do not internalize it, because this is not about you. It's about me.
No, it's about me.
So I believe this one's from around 2011 to 2013. I can't remember what's the exact date for this because it was so long ago, but I'm gonna go ahead and plop it in here. I'm nervous. Here it is. This is one of my first personas ever. This is my old art from when I was like 14 or 15. Yeah. So I can already tell the arms are very long. They're very long, and the torso, she doesn't have a rib cage.
You're a red-haired anorexic gorilla upside down with your left hand.
Literally, anorexic gorilla. So bad. See, I knew Noggin would be a good addition to this video because he's so good at it. Slender Woman, literally. I was so in love with this at the time though, which makes me feel even like really bad for my past self.
Why'd you squish marshmallows onto her hair? What's wrong with you?
I know, right? I think they were supposed to be bows. What are these bangs? It looks like she's wearing like a cloth on top of her hair. Like a fucking microfiber wig, right? I'm scared too, Pop Man. I was so like internalizing this character as me. It's so funny because this was like my persona back then. Yarn warmers help with the warning hazard. Yeah, literally. And the fact that she has like a green backpack, the colors clash so much. Oh man. Let's dive into the first redraw. So I redrew one of my very first OCs ever. Like ever. This was when I was a sweet little baby 14-year-old all the way back in 2011. That kind of ages me a bit, but that's the point of this video. It's to show growth. And I still have such a big spot in my heart for this character. This brought back so many memories of me creating headcanons and writing stories about her. Now, I do not remember her name. That is one thing that I don't do, is I don't name my characters. I've always been bad at naming people. You know how I mentioned I didn't have a lot of progress up until the last few years? Yeah. I used to avoid the fundamentals of art like the freaking plague, and art studies were way too boring for my baby brain. So a lot of these pieces were lacking in anatomy, perspective, and composition mainly. Honestly, I need to get back into studying when I get a chance. I could get better at backgrounds and composition, for example. It wasn't until I started posting my art online, something other than Facebook where only my relatives could see them, that I started to feel the push for growth. And I'll talk about that more at the end of the video, so stick around. With the redraw, I actually had a very difficult time with it. For some reason, I'm really good at looking at my old art and being like, oh yeah, I know how I improved, but redrawing it is a whole other story. I don't know what it was. I think I was just overthinking. I said it in stream before, but I had this mentality in my head that I had to draw the best drawings I possibly could in order to make the difference as drastic as they are. Luckily, everybody in chat was so sweet and encouraging. They said that no matter what I drew that it would look good because it's been 10 years, which I definitely took to heart. Other than the difficulty, I did change a lot of the character. She still has that beautiful red hair and those orange eyes, and I tried to keep that face shape that I had before, but I did adjust her outfit a lot. The colors were way too all over the place for me. I could not, in good conscience, redraw the exact same outfit that she had before, so I went ahead and did a few tweaks. I changed the purse color to black to match with a more kind of analogous color scheme. I got rid of the black and yellow stripes completely. She looked McDonald's coded. Yeah, we got rid of that. I also added a really cool texture to her pants. I decided to go with a corduroy kind of style because she does seem like she enjoys that vintage look. I also gave her heels, and my 14-year-old self would be so angry with me. I hated heels when I was 14. Anything girly was out the window. But yeah, so I gave her some cute little basic black pumps. I think they're called pumps. I mean, they're a type of heel. I actually don't know much about heels. That's pretty much what I changed about her character. I kept the bows, I kept the jacket shape, and I kept the bell bottoms and the turtleneck, as well as the hair and eye and skin color. But other than that, she's pretty much all brand new. I kept the composition pretty similar to what it was before because I still didn't want to go too far away from the original piece. I also added a cute little color palette at the bottom to make it look like a bit more like a character sheet instead of just a whole bunch of drawings put on a paper. Ooh, here's one that I really want to redraw. Look at this. I think this was made based off of an old drawing, actually, off of Google. I don't know why I drew hands so small. Now I draw hands too big and I have to resize them. There's not really much to say about it. Still, I'm just pretty sure I ripped this off of Google somewhere. One boob is way more bigger than the other, and they look like children.
That's adorable, though. That's
they
adorable.
look like children. No, that's not adorable. I decided to redraw this one because they needed a little help. I can remember that this was drawn from an image on Google from way back when. This is what the anime style used to be like in the early 2010s. Much different than what it is now. It's actually really cool how anime style has evolved over time. That's just what I did. I copied an image from Google and drew it as best as I could, which is a really good practice if you do want to get used to like a style or something that you really like, or even if you want to get better at anatomy. Trying to copy a picture without tracing as best as you can on a piece of paper can teach you a lot. So I'm really glad that I did this. However, she is dated, and also it's kind of weird. They look like siblings, but they're so close that it feels like they're romantic, and it's weird. It's weird. It's weird. I don't like that. So I went ahead and changed things up, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. But I did want to talk about one other thing. Have you ever heard about UnVale? It's a creative platform for character creators, artists, writers, and storytellers just like you. It's an anti-AI and never NFT creative-friendly website to post your OCs, worlds, stories, and more. I've sponsored them a few times on this channel already, so this is just going to be a quick shout out to their current event that's going on right now. April 1st was officially UnVale's anniversary. There's an event that's still going on called Glitch in the Multiverse, and I suggest you join the challenge. Here are my 3 favorite pieces that I fell in love with. Make sure to create an account and join the event before it ends. The link is in the description. Thank you so much, UnVale, for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to it. It's hard sometimes elaborating and explaining why I grew in my artist skill as time goes on, because most of it is just a natural process that everyone goes through. You naturally improve over time the more you draw. I thought a lot about what I could tell new artists to help because it's been so long since I was a beginner. What I would say is just to focus on the fundamentals of art. Do fun stuff on the other side, but focus on the fundamentals. It's so important that I mention it in almost every single video that I make. But because I always say that, I'm going to add something else. It takes time. It's hard. It's exhausting. But the dopamine rush when finishing a drawing or even a simple sketch hits hard. Looking at older drawings to see how you improved and seeing others love your art is what makes it so worth it. That love for drawing will grow. It's in our nature to create after all. Yeah, it's hard, I know, but if you stick with it, it'll get so much easier. You will quite literally level up over time, and you will feel it happening. There are so many memories and emotions embedded into each of these art pieces that I draw, and each of the art pieces that you draw. Every time you draw, you imbue a piece of your soul into it. And as weird as it sounds, people can feel that soul. They'll fall in love with your work as you grow, and you'll be able to look back just like I did on on stream with chat and go down memory lane. It's something I wish everyone would get to experience. So what I decided to do for the redraw, I actually changed it up quite a lot. I went ahead and switched over to more sisterly vibes, to more lover vibes, and I changed up the hair color a little bit to make them look less like siblings and more like a couple. So I tried, and I'm not very good at this. I'm not very good at like making two characters interact with each other. It's something that I could work on and improve on, especially with me wanting to make a graphic novel in the future. So I tried to make them very close, very sweet. I had one girl be dominant and one girl be more submissive. In a way, kind of like whenever you see romance novels, there's always that one dominant character and that one submissive character falling in love. I went ahead and played off on that. So one of the characters is bringing in the other character in a firm yet gentle embrace. I went ahead and updated it, made it a little bit more modern, like she's holding a cell phone about to take a selfie instead of just posing for the camera. I felt like it gave a lot more dynamicness to the pose. And let me tell you, that shoulder bit, I redrew so many times, the one that's holding up the phone, because it was so difficult for me. The foreshortening was so complicated on that. So if you see me redraw that shoulder a bunch of times and move it all over the place, that's why I was just having trouble. And with the other character, she's looking up at the character holding the phone. I should have named these people. It'll be a lot easier to explain. But she's looking up at her with these beautiful doe, bright jewel-like eyes, blue as the sky, so pretty, and she's just a little shocked. Maybe the other character brought her in as a really quick like surprise selfie. That would be really fun to think about, and it's so freaking cute. I love how it turned out so much. You can just tell the chemistry is there. The blonde one looks so sweet and the darker blonde one looks so like bad girl energy, you know what I mean? Oh, another thing, I updated their clothes because the old outfits were nasty. They were dated. They were bad. Early 2010s fashion was wild, man. So I went ahead and gave them both. Like one of them has more of like a neutral kind of modern outfit with like just a gray tank top and tan pants. But the other one has more of like a pastel goth aesthetic. If you made it this far into the video, it means you like this content, I hope. Feel free to give me a like and subscribe. It'll push more of these videos out to people like you who enjoy this types of rambly speed paint kind of story time content. I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now on to the final and honestly, in my opinion, best piece. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. What is that jawline? Okay, I tried a lot of new things in my freshman and sophomore year of college, and obviously this didn't work. I cannot draw jawlines to save my life. What was I doing? What was I thinking? I was experimenting a lot. Like that neck. Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I like the body shape. Like, it's very exaggerated. It's very Pixar mom. The neck is horrific. And so are the arms. Like, the arms, one of them is significantly longer than the other. Like, that arm right there, significantly longer than the other one. Somehow she's levitating the book because there ain't no way she's actually holding that book. She super glued that to her hand. And what is she doing? She's not even looking at the book. She's just closing her eyes and going, So I decided to redraw this beautiful crystal girl that I drew way back when. Now this one's later than the other ones. The other ones were from 2011. This one was from 2017. So I was like 18 or 19. This was my drawing skill when I was 18 or 19 years old. Y'all do not need to feel bad about your art skills. You will improve at your own pace. Let me tell you. I decided to try and keep as much of the pose as I could when it comes to anatomy, because her old anatomy was so bad. Everything, fundamentals of art, none of it was ticked off. It was so bad. But I went ahead and changed up the composition. I changed up the pose angle just a tad. I tried to keep everything as close as I could. Same ponytail, same kind of hips and bust kind of area. She's still holding a crystal. In chat, we decided to go with an opalite because first off, that's my favorite gemstone. Even though it's not a real crystal, it's man-made. I just think it looks so pretty in the light. It's very iridescent, very beautiful, very crystal clear, very little imperfections. I really like it. I really enjoy it. So I decided to make that the crystal in question. Luckily, because it was line art and no color, I had free reign on the coloring. We kept the metaphysical vibe. Instead of her just sitting there and looking at a crystal, I decided to give this piece a bit more story. Now, first, I do want to emphasize that she's a shopkeeper. She owns a medical physical store, and I decided to pose her in a way of her analyzing her crystals in order to make sure they were marketable. And honestly, I love how this turned out. out because, oh my god, did I level up in my art. It turned out so good. I added so many different layers too, and I really enjoy how the eye and the crystal came out so much that I'm going to be separating those into different speed paints and posting those on like Twitter and Threads and all of that. I actually made a background for this piece as well, which is wild because I usually don't do backgrounds because I'm scared of backgrounds. I blurred it out like crazy, so when I was drawing the background, I didn't even bother with line art. I just colored in where the colors were, made sure the lighting looked okay, and then blurred it, unblurred it, touched up some things, blurred it again until it looked pretty decent. I finished off with a beautiful Add Glow blender layer, and it was just the chef's kiss finishing touch of the entire piece. That plus the little particle effects to show the dust in the air, it turned out so freaking good. I think the main thing I would take away from this experience is first, don't destroy or get rid of your art if you learn nothing else. Don't get rid of it. Going back and cringing at your old art is fun, but again, it's those memories that make it worth it. Second, oh my gosh, redrawing old art is so fun and therapeutic, even if it is a little intimidating like I mentioned with the first drawing. It really gives you that motivation and push to keep drawing because you get to see in real time how you've improved. I still regret getting rid of my old physical copies of my drawings, but I had to because we had an emergency move and it wouldn't fit in the truck and I couldn't come back for it either. It was a really bittersweet moment seeing all of those drawings fade away over time. I don't remember half of them, so keep your art close. All of them. Take photos and keep them in an external hard drive if you have to. Since art is basically my whole life, I might as well have gotten rid of most of my childhood by getting rid of my old art. Anywho, I mentioned this in the beginning of the video. You know how I didn't really improve much until I started this whole social media thing, and I think this is why. Take a look. Remember my color picker challenges that I talk about every once in a while? The ones that like got me my 100,000 subscriber plaque and everything? When that happened, and this isn't something to brag about, the first color picker challenge short that I posted is at around 60 million views right now. In the first 6 weeks, I went from 0 subscribers on my YouTube channel to over 100,000 in 6 weeks. In 6 weeks, I got 100,000 subscribers. It was not good. I spent a very long time processing it and trying to rush my art skills as fast as I could because I felt like I did not have the skill level required to deserve 100,000 subscribers. It gave me a huge identity crisis. It is not something I recommend. I do not recommend going viral like that ever, especially now a year later. I am still trying to get my audience level back to long form, which was my ultimate goal. I think that was it though. I think that's what improved me so fast because I did so much research on how to improve quickly, all the anatomy, all the fundamentals, whatever, because I needed to improve so fast. And I know I didn't have to, but I needed to because I felt like someone with 100,000 subscribers shouldn't be at this level. So,
I used to get really beat up over her. She would sometimes come to me real sad and I would have to give her big hugs because she felt like she wasn't good enough.
Sometimes I'm really happy and sometimes I'm really confident and I feel really good about myself. Most of the time though, I'm thinking, how do I get better? Every single day I wake up, how can I get better? So maybe it wasn't a good thing that I improved so quickly. It's not something to brag about, that's for sure, if that's the reason. As you can probably guess, my sudden growth was not healthy at all. But I'll go over growing your art skills in a healthy way in a later video when I get enough research into it. But that's all of the drawings I redrew. I hope you were inspired during this process, and I hope I helped push you to either start drawing for the first time or kept you going when you felt like giving up. I love each and every one of you so much. See you next time. Toodles!